Hello all viewers, this is Stairs of Darkness 97 presenting you Sun God's Iron 0% growth. Today we're doing chapter 3. And this is a survival mission of Fog of War map. So keep in mind this is my first time playing this map and I admit I played pretty badly. So all you need to do to beat this map is beat it with 10 turns, and here is Jenna. She's a flying unit who can use staves and C-rank light magic. C-rank light magic is pretty important because until 1.52 I guess, she's the only light magic user who can use the tally tome, which you get by defeating the boss in this chapter. It shouldn't be hard, you just need to rush to the bottom area. But I won't notice until I see Mecca's playthrough in chapter 3. By the time I pretty much beat most of the games, so there's no point in getting it, guess. And at that time Sun God's Iron is going to a lot of updates, so it also helped that there was a less week of fog and that fog dissipated per turn, so your range of vision would have grown a bit wider and could have seen a lot more area, and eventually I'd see the boss. So if you play this first time, you're likely going to miss the boss. And killing the boss does make this map a lot easier since... Okay, that was a dumb move. Killing the boss does make this chapter easier since, you know, the reinforcements stop appearing if you kill the boss. Anyway, in the northwestern area, there's a Wyvern squad which Jenna can recruit one of them. And here I think Evan, Connor and Alyssa should handle them pretty easily. Not totally sure if you can reach a boss at 0% growth, but it should be highly possible. Especially with Foba around there. Yep, that's a boss, but if you don't skip the text, it's pretty much clear where it is if you're observant and are familiar with the Fire Emblem mechanics, but I just skipped it here, so that it doesn't really help, I guess. Anyway, speaking of side objectives in this chapter, I really recommend capturing priests with as many priests as you can, priests and bishops. Since they covered the Shine Dome and Heal Star. Heal Stars, like I said in a previous video, going to be fairly expensive. So it really helps if you can get a few of them as much of them as you can so that you can save funds in the long run. There is witches, they have a fire tome, so if I'm following the rules of the previous chapter, I think Angelic Witches is likely covered in the fire tome. Okay, here is reinforcements, and like in the previous chapter, there are those two new terrain types. And speaking of Fuma is a pretty interesting unit. Normally he's a pretty good unit. He has a decent PCC. He has Assassinate, which means as long as doubles is always active, various PCC before an enemy counter attacks, and that's pretty powerful. He is a bit frail and leans to the magical side though, which means anyone Albertome is going to be pretty useful throughout the game. And along with that, Puma comes in at Poison Touch, which means he can deplete 20% of enemies' health. That's going to be pretty useful to face bulky enemies like dragons and all. And since he can use Anma magic, Foma can also use a Thunder Tome to deal a huge amount of damage to them. And Assassinate always activates at one range, which means he can always deal consistent damage even if it's 0% growth, he will start falling off later on. Anyway, we got a fast layer in the previous chapter. Dealing with those cavaliers at the bottom should be fairly easily with either Dexitia or Bella. And speaking of New Year's, I forgot to introduce Bella. So you see a female fighter at the bottom who is waiting around there. She is Bella, so she promotes into a warp priest, which gives her a strong stage when you promote her, but a poor magic makes it a bit pointless, but I guess recover can exist to heal the full HP, so that's not an issue, but since you can use a strong staves, you can also use the hammer and stuff, which is the strong stuff you get in this game. Anyway, that's not a main reason why you'd use her. She has a decent strength and a high axe rank. She has enough axe rank to use the silver axe at base, which means her offense output won't be lacking for a significant portion of the game. She also starts with Smite and Intimidate, which means enemies have 10 less hit on her, and Smite means she can shove the units. She can push units pretty far on the map. And that's going to be pretty useful if you want to rush the map. And she eventually gets Rally Strength at level 12. Getting Rally Strength will really help you since it boosts the damage output by 4 of most units on the physical side. There are exceptions like magic swords, so you might want to keep that in mind. So with Rally Strength Might alone, she'll be useful until you get better units. And even the Rally Strength stacks into the strides and spur strength, so you really want to use her, I guess you can use her a lot. And the later versions around 1.32 I think. The LV experience at tier 2 units and tier 3 units and start many tier 3 units start increasing drastically. So it'll be a lot easier to raise those enemies and get some decent stats, I guess. And the female mages generally cover wind domes and the male mages cover the thunder domes, if I remember right. Yeah, Relila can easily deal with them, but you want to capture a few extra tomes, you might want to capture them, but these tomes aren't a huge priority. I recommend just sticking to capturing bishops and priests. Since you got a lot more value capturing the shine tomes than those heal tomes, I guess. Heal staves. And Catherine can take them off without any difficulty, and there's a paladin a lot, and that paladin doesn't move, but he drops a short bow, which means Lex will have a nice bow to use if you do manage to get it. It shouldn't be hard, just you'll probably need to do some risky dropping to get both the tally tome and the short bow. And since this is a survive chapter, there are no fast clear penalties or slow clear penalties, so I guess you don't have to worry about turtling, and this is why I recommend capturing the priests and bishops around here. There are no fast clear objectives that force the player to rush forward. You obviously don't have to get every fast clear penalty to beat a game, but getting them will just definitely make the game a lot easier for sure. In the later versions, you also get dodge staff, which really helps in knowing where the enemies are. That's part of the reason why you can find the boss in the first place. So another time I can't decide to pick up and play swords. Sol God's Rat, kind of frequently updating it because, well, getting a lot of feedback at that time, I guess. I remember suggesting putting a week of fog and demolishing it over time. Anyway, Dave's the Wyvern you need to recruit. You can take care of them pretty easily with a bow and Elven, I guess, who got it from a previous shop. Otherwise, if you capture a window, that'll do fairly well. Or even if you don't. Otherwise, you can just use Avon's Razor to deal effective damage to them. You can't deal with them with shit damage output, so. Paladin might have infinite stats, but remember the hatchet doesn't double, so feel free to put any slow yield around there. And yeah, I'm just putting it here because it's very short, so feel free to see recruitment, I guess. It is important since can't notice this, but it charges a lunge skill, which means you can't move enemies in a throne, but if Charles manages to hit an enemy and use a lunge skill, he and the enemy will swap places. Well, unless of course the enemy kills him, I guess. Unless he kills the enemy, I guess, because can't swap a dead enemy probably. Not sure, you might want to check that out. But anyway, it's essentially going to let Charles move around a bit more than you'd like. So you can use it to eliminate choke points, you can use it to move around and so on. It's a pretty useful skill to have around for sure. We're just setting up some spur speed, I guess. So we need to take care of 2 of them at least. And here's a demonstration of lunge. We're gonna find out whether. Yeah, never mind, I missed. Well, at least Lex can kill the enemy. You definitely want to rush forward and bottom for sure. Trust me, a Tally Tome is going to be worth the trouble. Don't get a second one until chapter 13. So there you go. This is gonna get more EXP. And it pulls out a savage blow, which kinda helps. Yeah, I guess my jaw is probably the most boring voice ever here, but well, let's better be understood than yes. Speaking fast, probably. Okay, there's boss number 1. She has a poison sword, which means getting hit by her might suck. Oh. Well, Captain pulls out a last turn, which means we're pretty much going to take care of the enemy, and each critical hit of a last turn rolls off separately, so. If you're getting Astra on a second try, there's no guarantee you're gonna crit every Astra attack. Never mind, just an Iron Blade, that's strange. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna pull LSS back to heal him up, but don't think it should be hard to deal with. The enemies around here. You know what to do with us. So, go take care of Myrmidon pretty easily. If I remember right, he'll probably have at least 1 leadership star. There's a paladin and his cavalry reinforcements. Modulars cannot be captured, so you might want to keep that in mind. Same thing goes for fly units or certain units with the watchful skill. Yeah, really want to capture his bishop, but I just like a dumb major just decided to kill him off. Speaking of Fog of War, I guess the main difficulty of this map, like typical Fog of War maps, is the fact that you can't see the enemies, their positions, and like Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, not Chapter 2, like Chapter 1, this map throws in frequent amount of reinforcements that will kill the boss, so, and that doesn't really help. And well, rushing the map, I guess. Yeah, we could smite the Viper Rider and the soldier, I guess. So, don't do a lot of damage, but I guess can just burst speed to boost the damage output. But before that, it's a good. Oh, got an adept. That's nice, I guess. We're just gonna pull off a regular attack. Yeah, and this is something I'll say frequently in Sun God's Wrath. You recruit an unit from the enemy side, will always see the first quote, regardless of whether they are an enemy or player face, regardless of who they join. So, if the recruitable unit didn't fight before and it got recruited, you'll always see the quote if you recruited them, regardless of whether you recruited them or not. Go ahead, trade around for the vulnerary because why not? Like, I don't think Lex can survive that many hits, so we're just going to play it a bit safe. The solid executor can't take care of the enemy, but we can always body block, I guess. Yes, go with Jenna, that's nice. Suppose. The shame that corner doesn't get point blank, but certainly later on gets point blank, and that is going to be important if you're going to rely upon bows to use as a main weapon, since the late game enemies will probably have Tower Shield Plus, which means they are essentially immune to 2 range attacks and 3 range attacks and so on. Basically, you can only hit them on 1 range or a melee range. Probably won't be using it in this run, but it's just something I want to point out, I suppose. We have 4 more turns to beat this map. And speaking of level thresholds we want to reach, besides Lex reaching double iron, I guess, would be nice for Relina if you reach level 10, and would be nice if Ulysses reach level 5 for reposition, and would be nice if Bella reach level 12 for rally strength. Dexitious burst strength would be cool, but I don't think we'll be using it at that point. I don't think it'll be retail level that much to use burst strength. There are so many good actions I'd like to use throughout the game. Sarilex is a double armor knight, but well, what sort of a unit are you to a double armor knight? Just kidding, this guy's pretty good. Just needs to get double iron. Levels on Astia don't matter that much. Of course, it would be nice to get some certain skills, but they're not gonna help your squad, and instead they're gonna help your combat for the most part. She gets validated 5 to hell at level 10. Oh no. I guess hero at level 20. These don't change regardless of when you're promoters, so that's kinda nice to have. This promotion she gets Eclipse, which is a pretty powerful skill. Especially since Bandage, Hero and Eclipse can combine to proc a lot more than you normally would. Doesn't make it like super broken, but you can get a Bandage and Dimitri, a less reliable version of Battalion Bandage and Battalion and Dimitri. And I got 0% growth run, so sadly bullets cannot reach them, but we can take out a Witch with Aralax and Charles. Charles is pretty interesting unit. He gets a 2 of the, I guess, 4 or 5 breaker skills. He gets Lance Breaker level 10, and depending upon when you promote him, he gets Sword Breaker level 20, 25 or 30. So if you do raise him, I guess he'll have consistently high hit rates against Lance and sword wielding enemies, but skill god isn't particularly great, but Quick Burn has mitigated that to some extent. At least if you play fast. And you do have the Blood Tide skill which boosts hit rate and rally skill, so there are ways to boost the hit rate to a reliable amount. It's just that its stats will fall off, and I won't probably bring you, but it'll absolutely need flyer utility, even though it's pretty good to have around. It would be nice if Catherine just Jonas Blue and Lance Crusher, but I guess mainly Jonas Blue so that we can have a semi-reliable play phase with her until the stats fall off. Speaking of map, I guess it's kind of interesting how this dry grass patches lost. Soil, I guess, and bright yellow tank kind of mixed together. Yeah, just really capture as many staff units as you can. It's going to be worth the trouble. I just want to show off Puma's animation, I guess, so we're just switching it on. Because I was curious at the time, since the ninja is a fairly new class. I haven't seen a lot of Fire Emblem titles besides, of course, Fire Emblem Fates, but I haven't seen a ninja in the JBA games, so I was curious. Okay, I'm gonna pull in a Savage Blow. Doesn't really matter whether we hit or miss. I just need to do some amount of damage. Oh, well, that's likely to be a critical hit on the second attack. And it would be nice if advantage is level 10 is sap even those stats. don't hold off in the long run of things. Mainly because it gets a start that boosts its defense and speed by 4. And I think it boosts speed by 4 is pretty powerful. It means everyone can double enemies with similar speed thresholds and so on. Or enemies who will have less than pretty close to the speed threshold, like less than 4, but everyone could double with the stance. But since everyone is a 3 PCs, you can naturally reach high amount of critical hit. It'll be pretty easy for everyone to kill an enemy once you can double, especially if the crit rate goes about 33, I guess. Yeah, gotta say it looks pretty cool in a way. And there it is, reinforcements. I really recommend rushing the boss and defeating him so that you can just focus on capturing those priests once the enemy density is down. And frankly, it should be hard to capture them with the mercy skill and the 10-turn limit. But I won't deny it gets annoying to face a frequent wave of enemy reinforcements. Okay, that enemy is push skill. There's no trying to push speed, but it's still more hit rate and I'd rather not deal with. But probably critical hit rates, which I'd rather not deal with either. And Lex finally reaches D rank bows. So, despite all of Lex's strengths, he'll have a lower bow rank compared to your other bow rank candidates. For example, take Collar as at least D or C rank, and Nicole joins later as a C rank in bows. She also gets point blank and access to the emblem bow if you want to use her for that. And point blank is important because it makes her an enemy phase archer. That's important. And more importantly, negates tower shields, so that really helps. There you go. Jenna's at level 4, and speaking of skills that Jenna would get, she gets lightweight and drive magic. I guess drive magic is a skill you want to aim for, since it's plus 6 magic for players who are within 2 range of tiles within Jenna. And it also goes in for warp and rescue shenanigans, so you might want to get it. Here's the info on the dome. It's a custom spell animation. You might find it in a repository if you are curious. Don't particularly remember who made it, but it looks pretty cool, what I say. Who was a bit frail, but for now we'll be fairly decent and he'll take a few hits. And until his speed falls off, he'll be a fairly powerful ally in my team. Sadly, I don't have a vulnerary in the squad, but I guess everyone can heal him up. I mean, even if you kill the boss in this chapter, you have to play it for 10 turns. It made this chapter ideal for capturing stuff, if you want to get it, like I emphasized before. We just need to keep a few years away from the enemies who hit hard. And we'll pretty much beat the chapter easily. Charles is pretty much going to be one of your best units in the squad. Should be able to give him levels, but well, if you kill this guy, you get someone else. I'm just gonna skip it here just because I just want to see it while you end the video, but I'll probably view it off screen because there's gonna be a save file around here on the base. So anyway, that should be it for this video. So consider leaving a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, and that should be it for chapter 3. See you all in the next video, and until then, goodbye.